guys, welcome to another episode of A Drummer's Guide to. So this week I'm talking about fear of judgment. It's a nightmare. I will go into it. Obviously in this Instagram culture, you feel like everything you put out there is judged, and it's an absolute nightmare. So I hope that this episode, if anything, just makes you not feel alone, because you're definitely not. I know that I feel this way. I know many people that do. So I just take you through exactly how I feel about the situation. Also, I'd like to let you know about a new workshop that I have created, and it is a very short workshop. It is about a 15-minute video with a little PDF as well, a little cheat sheet. And this workshop is something that I've created that I think is one of the most beneficial things that you can do for your playing as a drummer. It is geared towards drummers, so I apologize to other musicians. Please close your ears as you were. But I believe that if you use this workshop and you use what's in it for just 5 minutes a day, then you'll be able to level up to a professional level of drumming. You'll be able to boost your creativity, improve your control, strengthen your hands and develop your speed, and just refine your drumming vocabulary, all whilst also making friends with the click, which I think is such a big thing in being a drummer. It's literally our one job is to play in time. So this will help you make friends with the click, become more confident with it and all those things. And like I say, in just 5 minutes a day is something that I have done for probably the last 10 years. And it is, I just love it. So if you go to www.adrummersguide2.com/workshop, you'll be able to just put in your email address, and then there will be a link sent to you for this exclusive workshop. So I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, let's get on with the episode. It's why you're here. So enjoy this one, and I will see you on the other side. All right. Today I want to talk about an interesting subject, I guess. Well, I think it is, and it's about the fear of judgment. And I think we all have this. I certainly do, and have done a lot more in the past, less so now, which is really nice, but I'll tell you why I have that, and it's not necessarily just because I don't care anymore, because I do care. Of course we care about what our peers think, our friends think. It's difficult, especially in this world with so much like social media and stuff like that. People have access to you 24/7, and sometimes that can make you feel very vulnerable. I know that I can feel very vulnerable at times, but I'll just run you through my process to get over that, basically. But I just wanted to talk about sort of like in the past and how, that fear of judgment has really affected me in the past. And that's when I've been like in bands or especially in like jam situations are the worst, because you're already in a vulnerable situation. You're about to get up and play something that you have no idea what you're about to play, generally speaking, and you've just got to kind of busk it. But then if you've got a room full of people that you want to impress, or you might have a history with that in the past have made you feel sort of slightly like unconfident, I'm not even sure that's a word, but yeah, just make you feel like bad for whatever reason, and it might be nothing to do with them, it might be to do with you and your headspace at the time and whatever else, and just, yeah, I mean, we've all been there. I certainly have. I was thinking about this subject, and honestly, I have like handfuls of experiences where I can pinpoint feeling like, oh my god, first of all, before I'd even hit a drum, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be awful. Now that is the worst headspace to start any sort of like musical situation, or any situation really. And unfortunately what would happen would be I would sit down, I would start playing in this sort of timid and shy way and not confident at all. And it would just sort of compound, and I just would become this shell of myself. And it was, yeah, so, like I say, there's so many times that I can think of that. And weirdly, so I used to play with a band years and years ago, and I used to feel like that playing with them. And I never got out of it. It just was one of those situations. The second that I sat down to play with them, I felt inadequate, I felt awful, I felt like the worst player ever. And even recently, I got a chance to play with some of the musicians from that band, and I still went a little bit back to this headspace of just being like, oh, I'm not very good. This was like over 10 years ago I used to play with it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, these things happen, and you kind of have to be kind to yourself. You kind of have to just go, it's okay, I recognise what's happening, let me just be confident about this, I can play. And you kind of, well, I sort of have gotten over it, I guess, but there's a very specific way that I've gotten over it, because I still have these moments of feeling completely like judged and scared what people are going to think, even down to doing these videos, to be honest. And I do a lot of drumming videos on Instagram where, you know, a lot of the time I'm like, oh god, other drummers are just going to be like, she is awful, why is she putting stuff out there, she's the worst drummer ever, you know, all these things enter my mind. Don't think that I'm sitting there going, I'm so great. I'm not, trust me. But here's how I sort of get around myself, because it is just myself. I get such amazingly positive feedback, and therefore there's not a lot of evidence to show that people hate what I'm doing, or, you know, just think I'm an idiot, or what. They may well, but they haven't told me, so that's fine. Ignorance is bliss. So the way that I get around it, or I have done over the past few years, is, let's say, for instance, doing these videos. I feel quite vulnerable doing these videos. I've covered a few topics that I certainly have felt really like, oh my gosh, I'm putting this out there, this could be a disaster. But then, so specifically these videos, the thing that I have to ask myself is, why am I doing this? Okay, why am I doing this? I want to help people like my younger self especially. So if there's like, obviously I'm helping a few drummers, I think, musicians just generally, which is amazing, and I can't tell you how that feels. But in my head, I have this 11-year-old that is starting out playing an instrument, doesn't know where to look, is feeling different things, and doesn't know if they're normal to feel these things, or to be doing these things, or is a bit lost as to what to do. And for me, that is the reason that I'm doing these videos. And, you know, I may have other drummers, maybe even drummers that I'm friends with, that I'm close to, I don't know, who may watch these and go, you're an idiot. But you know what? That's okay. These videos aren't for you. They're for, like I say, a younger version of myself, and what I feel like I needed when I was younger. So anyway, that's the reason I do these videos, and that's the reason I will continue to do these, because the answer to that question of why am I doing this is so much bigger than being judged. I'm like, judge away, I don't care. As long as I help just one person, I'm happy. So, awesome. Moving on to things like drumming videos, like performance videos. Again, you know, music, you get vulnerable, and I feel super vulnerable when I put out videos of me playing. You know, you're literally just releasing it to the world and going, ah! But again, I do this thing where I reframe it. It's basically, it's just looking at it from a different angle. So, okay, there might be people sitting there going, she's rubbish, she's awful, worst drummer I've ever heard, and fair dues. I've never said that I'm the best drummer in the world. I do what I love. I love it. What can I say? So, to me, either I think, okay, that's fine. If someone watches my videos and thinks those things, those negative things, and thinks, I could do better, I could do that, great. Go do it. So to me, that's actually a positive thing. If that forces someone to take the next step into being like, if she's a professional, I could be a professional, awesome. If that gives you the confidence to go do it, please go do it. I don't mind if it's coming from a negative initial place, but if it gives you that extra push to think, I could do that. And, you know, I used to feel like that when I used to go and see gigs. Like, this is when I was a lot younger, and I had a lot less experience, so I would just see a drummer for face value. I would think, I could do that. I would never be like, oh, they're rubbish, but I'd be like, I could definitely do that. But it spurred me on to get to the point that I am now. And like I say, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm like, I could do that, and then I couldn't. But it's all part of the learning, isn't it? So, yeah, even in a negative situation where someone's going, I could do that, I'm much better than her, cool, go do it. Go work your butt off, and come see me on the circuit. Come tell me that you're better than me, that's fine. I'm not here to be the best, I'm just here to be me. And then equally, obviously, I do have amazing positive reactions to drumming videos where people are very supportive, and if that inspires someone to kind of go, yeah, cool, I want to do that too, that's amazing. The only thing that I'm slightly worried about is if people go, I could never be that good, because that breaks my heart, because that's, you can. Trust me, when I tell you that if I, some random girl from North London, can be a professional musician, you can do it too. It's just a matter of belief and working hard and just having goals and just being obsessed, basically. Probably slightly unhealthily obsessed. Having the perseverance, the grit, just, you know, getting momentum with what you're doing, consistency. It's all these things. And basically just having, I keep saying this, I've been saying it a lot recently, but I really like it. Like, it's an insatiable, I'm not sure that's the right word, insatiable hunger. Like, you cannot, okay, unquenchable thirst. That's probably better, because I definitely know that's the right words. Unquenchable thirst for music, for drums, a passion that just you cannot get rid of, an obsession that you are constantly thinking about music, about drums, if you're playing drums or whatever instrument it is, and there is no option. It's not about, oh, well, if, it's more when. It's just, you have to believe it's going to happen, and I've always had that. It's even in my darkest moments where I'm like, I don't think I can do this. It's like, don't be ridiculous, because what else are you going to do? This is the only thing that I have just adored and loved from the bottom of my heart forever, since the day that I started. So there's just no question about if. There never has. It's just more about when and how. How am I going to do this? So anyway, that is basically my very short version of how I get past judgment. I just look at things from different angles and just try and put things into a positive light, so that even if I'm getting negative comments, which I do occasionally, I definitely do, it's the internet, it's gonna happen, I can just reframe it and just go, do you know what? The other thing is, you have to recognise that when people are saying negative things to you, it's probably more about them than it is about you. And it's kind of this, it's an insecurity. And I think if you can look at it like that and just go, okay, this person's feeling a bit insecure about whatever, you might not know what it is, and that's fine. But if you can come back with some sort of kindness and you know, don't be angry at them or aggressive or anything like that. If you can just go, cool, if you think you can do better, show me, do it. I'm here. I want to see you succeed. I want to see everyone succeed. Everyone should be happy. Life's too short not to just, you know, do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Then, yeah, just go do it. If you think you can do it, if you see someone else talking about something or playing or whatever and you think, I could do that better, go do it. It's going to take some work, I can tell you that now, but it will be worth it. Anyway, I'm going to stop going on and on about this. But, yeah, try not to feel judged, reframe it, and just see it as a positive thing for that person, for yourself, and always remember why you're putting things out there, why you're doing things, and I hope this helps.
Well, I hope that's given you some insight, at least to where my head goes when it comes to judgment. Like I say, I suffer with it so badly, but as long as I keep in mind why I'm doing something, then I generally am okay. But we all suffer from those moments, and it's just part and parcel of being a musician, I guess. Speaking of fear of judgment, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind doing me a huge favour. So the thing is with podcasting, it's a weird old platform, it really is. And the way that it kind of runs and the way that things become popular and well known is if there are lots of reviews on podcast episodes and series. So I was wondering if you have been enjoying this series of A Drummer's Guide to, if you feel like you've been getting something from it, would you mind just popping onto Apple Podcasts and just leaving me a review just on iTunes there. If you would do that, I'd be eternally grateful. If you don't want to, absolutely fine, but I thought it's worth an ask. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on this week, but I will be seeing you next week for another subject. Who knows what it's going to be? Not me right now, but I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Anyway, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and I will speak to you soon. All right, lots of love. Bye.
Reframe It.